All right, guys, so let's get started. I'm going to kind of stovetop cook today. I'm not going to use my oven. My pie plate got a little burnout yesterday. I was really upset about it. So let me tell you what I've got going. So far, I've only got the mac and cheese here cooking. It's cooking in a little bit of water. It's Cracker Barrel mac and cheese, comes in a bag. I'm going to add in my own seasoning to it. And I'm going to get the seasoning ready here on the side. I'm going to throw that in after I pour the water off. And then, because it's Cracker Barrel, you know, it comes with its own little packages of stuff. I'm also going to put these two in. But normally with my mac and cheese, I'm going to add in some chili powder and some oregano. That's it. And then I'm going to add the seasoning that come in it. I would add some margarine or something, but like I said, I gotta go to the shop and I don't have a lot of things in there. So the only thing I'm adding today is some chili powder and some oregano. And that's to my mac and cheese, and I'm gonna add the packs that come with it, you know, the 2 packs. Now, for the butternut squash, I had some left over yesterday. We're going to add that in last. It's going to go in this pot right here. The new butternut squash, we're going to go ahead and toss that in here and let it start cooking up right on the stove top. Okay, we're going to toss that in here. And what I'm going to add in for my squash, for this butternut squash, when this squash get a little bit tender, we'll put the old one that was left over right in the pot with it. You know, because I still have a little bit here in the bowl from last night. So the only thing you need to do with this, we're going to stovetop cook it, right? Is just add a little water, not a whole lot, just a little, just to get it a simmer going. You're going to add your olive oil, your onion powder, and your sesame. And just let it simmer on top. Turn on the stove eye there, back stove eye. Okay, so we're gonna add a little olive oil right in here, just a little water and a little olive oil, right? And you're just gonna let it sear. Let it sear. While that's going, we're going to start on something else. Okay? When it cook up a little bit, we'll add our seasoning to it, which is the onion powder, the sesame. I don't know if I have a lime. If you don't have a lime, you can toss in some lemon pepper. Yeah, I don't have a lime. I have a lemon. So it's not going to give off the same taste, so I'm not going to use that. I like lime. Lime is the best when you got to do seasoning on that. So we're going to let that go. And I had a top for that. I don't know where it is. Hold on, let me wash out the top. This one here, we're going to do our Brussels sprouts. I have a pack of Brussels sprouts. They're just like a mini cabbage, right? So we're going to put the Brussels sprouts right in there. Let me get it started. Hold on. Needing a little bit more heartier today because I didn't eat much yesterday. I didn't eat much at all. So I'm going to have a cup of water in here. 1 glass of water, 1 whole cup. Rinse off your Brussels sprouts, right? And toss them in. So they can get steaming up, right? Let them get steamed up in there. See anything messed up, just pull it off. You don't want to get nothing in your pot that's not right. I look at and inspect every one because I want everything to be good. I don't want no bugs, nothing like that in my food. So you have to always inspect your vegetables when you're going to cook them. Make sure they're right. Now these have been in the refrigerator for a while, but they've been in the drawer and they're still good. So we're going to cook these up. It's a nice pot there of Brussels sprouts. See that? It's a nice pot. It's full. Okay? All right, guys. Now, the next thing I'm going to add with this meal, hold on one second. If I can get my camera here. With my Brussels sprouts, I'm going to add in a veggie paste. Hold on. Let me turn you this way. I want you to look at the stove. I want you to be looking at the stove. I'm going to add in a vegetable paste with my Brussels sprouts. Hold on. Get this thing right. It's so hard to get this thing like right where it's supposed to be. So what you're going to do with your mac and cheese water is cooked up enough that it's tender. You want to pour most of it off so that you can put the whatever the cheese, the Cracker Barrel cheese that comes with it in there. Right? Okay, something's cooking too fast around here. I don't know what that is. Make sure everything is cooking on low, everything that you're cooking, because you want to have a chance to add in all of your additives that you want to put in there. You can add this right on top, the old, right on top. It's not going to take long for that to steam up. Toss in some more sesame in there. Mix it around. I love sesame. Toss in some onion powder. Basil in there already from yesterday. Now what you want to do with this, you got your olive oil in there, your water. I'm going to put a little bit more water in it. I had it on high, I didn't know that. You want to add a top to it so it can simmer down. That's your nice top on there, lid, because you want everything to simmer down. Now with this right here, I'm going to add some sweet potatoes. I'm going to cut up a couple of sweet potatoes with it. With our mac and cheese, you want to go ahead and put the cheese on from the Cracker Barrel and mix that in. Whatever the cheese that comes with. I'm doing a lot of cooking here for veganism, but I love mac and cheese. I didn't eat a lot of the pasta yesterday. I ate just a little. I mostly wanted the cauliflower out of the pasta. I should have just made cauliflower instead of making spaghetti pasta, because I don't want to get into eating a lot of pastas every day, you know. Pastas turn into sugar in your blood too. But I love things like lasagnas and pizzas and things like that. So we're going to let this kind of cook up. Got all the cheese on there. And like I said, I put a tablespoon of chili. What you think is about a tablespoon. I put a tablespoon of chili powder on my mac and cheese. I'm going to always use me some oregano because I want that Italian taste, right? Just a little. Wait a minute. Oh my God, that was cinnamon. This is chili. So now we got cinnamon and chili on the mac and cheese. Okay. Now the cinnamon you can add in on your squash if you want with the sweet potato, but I'm not going to worry about adding nothing else. All we're going to do on the squash is put the sweet potato in to give it a more sweet flavor. And we're going to put the topping for the mac and cheese in. It's got plenty of water in it. And then there's a seasoning blend that they have. We're going to mix that in to make it more cheesier. Okay. really delicious. I'm going to show you how nice it is. Let me let you take a look at that. That's my mac and cheese from Cracker Barrel coming up right there. The 2 seasoning packs, chili powder, oregano, and I'm just using water. I would use a little milk in there, but like I said, I'm pantry cooking basically because I'm down to. But the good thing about eating vegan is that if you go to the store and get you a couple of things like some Brussels sprouts, some squash, you know, just something you want to eat on, it don't cost you a lot. Like I went to the store with like $25 and I came out with 3 days of dinners. It was so crazy. Like 3 days. It's cheaper to eat vegan than it is to be just all meat because meat is so expensive. Now my Brussels sprouts are still cooking, right? What I'm going to add into them is, I don't want to take a long time on the video, but I'm going to add in to my Brussels sprouts. 1 second. I want it to have more flavor. So I have a vegetable bouillon here. See this vegetable bouillon? I get this at the dollar store. It's very good. I'm going to add some vegetable bouillon in there into my, because I want to put more vegetables into it. So I'm going to put like, I'm going to add like a good helping of a tablespoon of my vegetable bouillon right on in them Brussels sprouts. Mix it in, right? Oh my goodness, that's going to be so wonderful. Okay, so you're going to have that in there going with it. I'm going to show it to you again. This comes at the dollar store. It comes like this, and it's just a powder vegetable bouillon that, like, if you want to make a stock pot of something, you have something to add in there to give it a good flavor. Okay. Now, so we got our vegetable bouillon in there. Now I have this great stir fry. It's got water chestnuts in it. So we're going to throw in a little stir fry right on in there. It's got water chestnuts, it's got carrots, celery, it's got peppers, it's got sugar snap peas, all of that in there. Hold on, let me stir the macaroni. Put a little bit more water in there. That's cooking it. Nothing burning on it, so we want to keep everything together. Okay. All right, so we got even more flavor. We got a half bag of vegetable stir fry going right on into the, that's going right on into the Brussels sprouts. Okay, mixing that around all in the Brussels sprouts. That's very good. It's going to give it a very good flavor. Okay. Now, if you don't want to cut your scallion up, you can put in some onion powder on this. I'm going to add in some more of this to give it some more flavor. I'm going to add a little bit more water in to it. Not too much water. Now, I'm being a lazy cook, so I'm just using onion powder on here instead of using, I'm sure it's got onion in it though. And I'm going to just use some, when it cooked down, we're going to add in some soy sauce on this side of the vegetable over here. Now, the mac and cheese is basically ready, so I'm just going to cut it off and leave it until everything else is done. The mac and cheese is done. Okay, we don't want to dry everything out. So, let's see here if I can put it on the table. Over. Hopefully my son will stay asleep until everything is done, you know. And he's just not coming here and eat up the mac and cheese and say, okay, that's it, I'm done eating, you know, because I'm still cooking everything else. Hopefully he'll stay asleep for a minute until I'm done with dinner. Save him down, he's tired. Alright guys, I'm going to be right with you. I'm going to add the mac and cheese to the table because that's basically done. And then we're going to keep right on cooking. One dish complete, right? One dish and two to go. All right, so we have our Brussels sprouts. They're going, seasoned up really good. I'm going to add a lid to it. When they cook all the way down, then we do our soy sauce. And that's how that goes. So this mac and cheese is done. We're going to just sit it on the table. It's ready to serve. Okay. I'm going to put all the ingredients below whatever I'm cooking so you will know. Alrighty? So I love turning my, this, what do you call it, Brussels sprouts into a good stir fry. It's so good. Now I'm going to add the squash over here because I want to add in some sweet potato. So I'm going to just let this come over here. Turn this out. So I'm going to put a top on this so it can simmer all the way down. I still got vegetables left for another cooking of some sort. Now, if I hadn't made that macaroni, I would have put some quinoa rice in here or put a bowl of quinoa rice on the side. But I got the macaroni, so that's kind of like my pasta part right there, you know. Okay. So now, this is going to simmer down. I'm going to chop up a quick sweet potato, and we're going to toss it into this and let it go with it, right? And we're also going to get us a couple of slicks of ginger in there with the sweet potato and the squash. I love Miss Ginger. Miss Ginger is so good. I'm going to save these onions for tomorrow or something. I'll have to cook everything up in one day, right? Okay, so let's see if we can find a knife. There's got to be ginger added into this one, the squash and the sweet potato. And there's going to be soy sauce added into this one, the stir fry. All right. So guys, let's take a break. I'm going to chop up a sweet potato and I'll be right back with you.